Senior Care, 6 Nursing Home Alternatives for Dignified Living. Alternatives to traditional care, preserve dignity and joy in life. Have you ever stopped to think, if there's a more empowering way to spend your later years than being placed in a traditional care facility? For countless people between the ages of 60 and 85, even the idea of moving into a nursing home triggers stress and a sense of defeat. It can feel like you're surrendering your freedom and fast-forwarding to a chapter of life you're not ready to live. But here's something many don't realize. Nursing homes are no longer the only way forward. In fact, more older adults than ever are exploring fresh, flexible alternatives that offer not just care, but dignity, joy, and a genuine sense of control over how they live. In this video, we'll uncover 7 modern solutions that go far beyond what traditional elder care ever offered. These aren't far-off ideas or experiments. They are real, accessible options being chosen by people who refuse to settle for less than a life with purpose, safety, and self-respect. Whether you're planning for yourself or someone close to your heart, what you're about to learn could shift everything you thought you knew about aging. So stay with us, because one of these options might be exactly what you didn't even know you were looking for. Each path we're about to reveal has something unique to offer. Some are incredibly simple, others might surprise you, but all of them put your autonomy and quality of life front and center. And before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you're always the first to get practical, empowering content made for this vibrant stage of life. You deserve choices that work for you, not just solutions made for everyone else. Let's get started with the first alternative. Aging comfortably at home with personalized in-home care. It's one of the most liberating and emotionally fulfilling decisions many older adults are making today. Staying in the space you've built memories in, the house that feels like you, isn't just comforting, it's powerful. With the right kind of support, aging at home can be just as safe and even more enriching than moving elsewhere. And no, this isn't about needing help because you can't do it alone. It's about choosing to thrive, to enjoy life with more ease and confidence. In-home care can be fully customized, ranging from light assistance with housekeeping, meal prep, and errands to more hands-on support like help with personal hygiene, medication reminders, and mobility. What matters most is that you remain in your familiar environment. That favorite chair by the window, your own kitchen, your garden, that's not just furniture and walls. It's part of your emotional well-being. Studies show that seniors who remain in their homes often enjoy stronger mental health, better memory retention, and a deeper sense of contentment than those who transition to institutional settings. Take for example Eleonora, age 78. Her joints don't move the way they used to, and she occasionally forgets a dose of her meds. But instead of relocating, she gets weekday visits from a home care professional. And the result? She's still doing her crossword puzzles each morning, bird watching from the window above her sink, and sipping coffee with her neighbor every Sunday, just like always. She didn't need to give up her life. She just needed the right kind of support to keep living it fully. That's the beauty of in-home care. It's adaptable. You can scale it up or down as your needs change, making it one of the most flexible and respectful ways to age gracefully. It's not just a practical decision. It's a deeply human one. Because for many, preserving their independence means protecting their identity, their history, and their daily joys. Living with family, a supportive and well-balanced arrangement. Now let's talk about another increasingly popular option. Living with family in a supportive, well-balanced arrangement. But hold on, it's not what you might assume. We're not talking about giving up your independence or becoming an obligation to your loved ones. This is about forming a collaborative, two-way connection where all generations benefit. When done with care and clarity, multigenerational living can bring renewed purpose, closeness, and joy into everyone's lives. Living under the same roof doesn't mean losing your personal space. It means enriching your days with familiar faces, shared stories, and a stronger emotional support network. Whether you're lending a hand with the grandkids, passing on family traditions, or simply being a calming, wise presence in the home, your role is meaningful and valued emotionally. This kind of arrangement can be transformative. It combats loneliness, enhances emotional health, and restores a sense of usefulness and belonging that many older adults crave. But let's be real, The key to making it work lies in healthy communication, mutual respect, and firm boundaries. Each generation must honor the other's autonomy. When those pieces fall into place, the result can be a nurturing, harmonious lifestyle where everyone feels seen, heard, and supported. You're not joining a household to be taken care of. You're stepping into a shared life experience. It's not about surrendering independence. It's about weaving your life into the rhythm of your families without losing your space, privacy, or identity. Picture Harold, 81, who had recently lost his wife. When his daughter offered him the newly converted apartment above their garage, it wasn't just an invitation. It was a lifeline. He now has his own private entrance, a compact kitchen tailored to his routine, and full autonomy over his day. But he also gets to join family meals, cheer at his grandson's baseball games, and exchange stories and laughs at the dinner table. For Harold, this change wasn't a step back. It was a return to feeling alive, needed, and loved. From a practical angle, shared housing like this often brings major financial benefits. Both generations can save on living expenses, and in some regions, these living arrangements can qualify for helpful government programs or tax incentives. But even more important than the money is the sense of security that comes with knowing someone is nearby when life throws a curveball. You're not isolated. You're part of a team. Aging in place with smart home upgrades, customizing for comfort and safety. Now let's talk about a game-changing concept that's helping thousands of older adults stay exactly where they feel most at peace. Aging in place with smart home upgrades. This isn't about clinging to the past or refusing to move. It's about proactively reshaping your environment so it supports your evolving needs. Think of it as customizing your life to fit you better. More and more seniors are making their homes safer, smarter, and more comfortable. They're adding features like stair lifts for multi-level houses, walk-in tubs to avoid slips, textured non-slip flooring, strategically placed grab bars, and lights that turn on automatically with motion. These changes aren't about giving up. They're about taking charge. This is what it looks like to stay independent, prepared, and in control. Technology is a major ally in this journey. Devices like smart speakers with voice assistants, medical alert systems, security cameras, automated medication dispensers, and even remote health monitoring tools now allow people to live independently without sacrificing safety. These aren't luxury items anymore. They're tools that help people keep their freedom intact while staying connected to those who care about them. There's a psychological layer too. Living in your own home, surrounded by objects with personal meaning, the photos, the smells, the little details that hold your story, helps preserve a powerful sense of identity. That emotional grounding makes a huge difference in mental clarity, emotional resilience, and overall happiness. Take Linda, 79. She took a hard fall last year and realized her house needed to change if she was going to stay. At first, she felt embarrassed. Updating her bathroom and changing her layout made her feel like she was getting old, but within weeks everything shifted. She was finally able to move through her home freely again, take showers without fear, and trust herself with each step. That renovation didn't limit her. It liberated her. For families, supporting a loved one who chooses to age in place is more than just offering help. It's a declaration of faith in their strength and a way to honor their life's rhythm. It's not always the easiest road, but it's often the one that preserves the most meaning, autonomy, and joy. Multigenerational living with healthy boundaries, deep connection, respectful space. Let's now dive into another increasingly common solution, multigenerational living, but this time with a strong emphasis on healthy boundaries. This approach works best in families that are close-knit but also emotionally mature enough to establish clear expectations and respectful space sharing. And here's the key. It's not about turning into the full-time babysitter or becoming an extra pair of hands for every household task. It's about building a partnership where each person brings something of value and gets something meaningful in return. When thoughtfully planned, this kind of setup creates a deep sense of togetherness without overstepping anyone's comfort zones. It brings with it shared meals, built-in emotional support, and the joy of being around people you love every single day. But if you skip the honest conversations and fail to draw lines, it can quickly spiral into tension and resentment. That's why the best multi-generational homes begin with a conversation. What does everyone expect from this arrangement? What's private, what responsibilities are shared, and which ones are not? Seniors in these arrangements aren't passive guests or unpaid caretakers. They're equal partners in a shared living agreement. Think of Patricia, 83, who moved in with her daughter and son-in-law after her husband passed. Together they built a private suite just for her, complete with her own reading nook and bathroom. They respected her morning routine, asked for her input on family matters, and gave her a real role in the household. She even became the bedtime storyteller, her grandkids' favorite voice at the end of the day. She feels valued, not obligated, supported, but never suffocated. This type of living arrangement offers a rare balance. Deep emotional connection without sacrificing autonomy. It fosters meaning, companionship, and routine while allowing room to breathe. But it doesn't work by accident. It requires effort, open dialogue, and a shared willingness to adapt when life shifts unexpectedly. This isn't a nostalgic throwback to the past. It's a modern, intentional fusion of timeless family bonds and emotional wellness. Independent living communities with on-demand assistance. A flexible space for your pace. Let's move on to another powerful solution. Independent living communities with on-demand assistance. A lot of people think it's all or nothing. You either live alone and struggle, or you give up independence and move into a full care facility. But that's just not true. There's a flexible golden mean, and it's gaining popularity fast. Independent living communities are specifically designed for older adults who are mostly self-sufficient but still want convenient access to support when needed. You maintain your personal space, often a private apartment or small home, while having optional services at your fingertips. Don't want to cook dinner? Meals are available. Want to join a group yoga class, painting night, or movie screening? You can. Need someone to help with errands or medical appointments? It's one phone call away. And the best part, you decide what you want and when you want it. Nothing is forced or invasive. But perhaps the most transformative part of these communities is the built-in social fabric. Loneliness isn't loud, but it's one of the most serious risks as we age. It doesn't hit you all at once. It sneaks in slowly, eroding joy, energy, and even physical health over time. But being around others, people who are going through the same phase of life, can rebuild that sense of shared experience, belonging, and daily joy. And here's a reminder, these places aren't cookie-cutter villages. Some are focused on wellness and nature, others on creativity, music, or lifelong education. You can find a community that fits your personality, your passions, and your pace, not just your age. Take Richard, 78. After retiring and losing his wife, his house became more of a burden than a sanctuary. His kids lived hours away, and the silence was heavy. But when he moved into a community that featured woodworking workshops, scenic trails, and a weekly film club, things started to shift. Life began to feel full again. His days had rhythm, his skills had purpose, and his evenings had conversation. It wasn't just about convenience. It was about coming back to life. Intergenerational living communities and final thoughts. Your life, your choice. Let's wrap things up now, focusing on a powerful trend that's reshaping how older adults are choosing to live, intergenerational living communities. This isn't just a new housing model, it's a movement. It's a shift away from isolating seniors into quiet, sterile spaces and toward dynamic, vibrant neighborhoods where people of all ages live side by side. These aren't facilities. They're living, breathing communities. You might have a teacher next door, a single parent across the street, or a college student in the unit upstairs. And the connections that form aren't forced. They happen naturally. Someone might help you carry groceries, join you for a shared meal, or stop for a chat while you water your plants. And in return, your wisdom, your stories, and your presence bring depth and meaning to their lives. This isn't about charity. It's not about being taken care of. It's about mutual respect and shared value. Everyone gives, everyone receives. Margaret, 76, moved into one of these communities in Oregon, where high school students live nearby in a dorm-style complex. Every Thursday she runs a poetry circle. In exchange, the students help her troubleshoot her phone, change light bulbs, and introduce her to music she never thought she'd enjoy. She says she hasn't felt this energized, this appreciated in decades. These communities are often built around interaction. Community gardens, walking trails, reading lounges, art rooms. There are no locked-down corridors, no sterile lobbies, just open spaces that invite people to connect, grow, and thrive together. And beyond the social benefits, this model also nourishes the brain. Daily conversation, purpose, and exposure to different generations stimulate cognitive function and boost emotional well-being. Studies have consistently shown that older adults living in intergenerational communities tend to maintain sharper mental faculties for longer. Cognitive decline slows. Feelings of loneliness are significantly reduced. Why? Because in these environments, connection is constant, natural, and deeply human. Meanwhile, the younger residents, whether they're students, young professionals, or single parents, gain something equally powerful. They develop greater empathy, emotional maturity, and a deeper appreciation for life beyond screens and social media. It becomes a two-way bridge where wisdom meets curiosity, and both sides grow stronger. This option isn't about retreating from the world. It's about re-entering it fully, intentionally, and with purpose. So if you've ever felt like you still have so much to offer but didn't know where or how to share it, intergenerational living could be the outlet you've been waiting for. Because meaningful connection in our later years isn't just a feel-good bonus. It's essential. It can be as powerful as any medication. And sometimes the most healing thing isn't a pill. It's the echo of laughter during a meal with people of all ages. Sharing life around the same table. Growing older doesn't mean giving up your independence, your dignity, or your sense of self. For many, the thought of ending up in a nursing home carries a quiet, unspoken fear. We don't often talk about it, but we feel it. The fear of losing autonomy, the fear of becoming invisible, the fear of a life reduced to routines and silence instead of relationships and joy. But as today's video has shown, there are better paths, modern, human-centered ways to age with pride, comfort, and freedom. Maybe that looks like moving into a shared home with trusted friends who understand you. Maybe it means living close to your adult children but still keeping your space and independence. Perhaps it's joining a senior co-op, hiring in-home assistants, or becoming part of an intergenerational neighborhood that feeds your soul. Or maybe it's simply about downsizing into a place that feels right for your pace of life. There's no single formula that fits everyone. But across all these options, there's one thing in common: a deep human desire to stay connected, to remain respected, and to live life on your own terms. You've built a life full of memories, effort, and love. You've earned the right to protect that story until the very last chapter. So ask yourself honestly, which one of these choices speaks to your heart? Which one gives you a sense of calm just imagining it? That feeling is your compass. Follow it. Because aging well isn't just about adding more years. It's about making sure those years remain yours to shape, to enjoy, and to own. Thank you for being here with us today. We'd truly love to hear your voice. Leave a comment below and share one thing that stood out to you and how you plan to bring it into your life starting today. Your reflections help others and inspire us to keep going. If this video helped you see aging from a new perspective, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Your support is what allows us to keep going, to keep building thoughtful, empowering content made just for you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.